Hi guys, it's Fightsci here with yet another video, and today we're going over the marvelous one. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. Let's break him down. But first, for his early life. Marvin Hagler was born Marvin Nathaniel Hagler on May 23rd, 1954. Although that's only his estimated birth date, as the record keeping wasn't so good back then because of racism in America. In addition, he was raised in the Central Ward of Newark, New Jersey, with 5 siblings. Hagler first put on a pair of gloves at the age of 10 for a social worker he only knew as Mr. Joe, who taught him sports and got him involved in counseling other children. Hagler dropped out of school at the age of 14 and worked in a toy factory to help support the family. Ida May, his mother, recalled her eldest son had always wanted a box and promised one day to buy her home. Growing up, Hagler would pretend he was Floyd Patterson or Emil Griffith. Following the riots of 1967, in which 26 people were killed and $11 million in property damage was caused, including the destruction of the Hagler's tenement, he moved to Brockton, Massachusetts. Hagler said that looking down on the streets at the looters was almost like watching ants on a picnic table. Ida May described the riots as really terrifying, and nobody left the Hagler apartment for 3 days. Family lay under Veronica's bed during this time, with a pair of bullets smashing through the bedroom window and shattering the plaster above the bed. Hagler and his siblings were forbidden from staying up by Ida May, who told her children to stay away from the windows. The family crawled about the 5-room apartment, sliding around on cushions to reach the bathroom and kitchen. Once the riot was over, the nearby neighborhoods were mostly in ruin, and many cars had been stripped for parts. After another riot nearly 2 years later, Hagler and his family got out of Newark and moved to Brockton, Massachusetts. Quite the interesting background story. Now time for the technical breakdown. Hagler pre-slips off center line, bobbing and weaving using foot, head, and hand feints. Hagler slips left and loads weight on front foot, keeping back foot mobile, making movement easier, moving right. Basically, he puts his weight on his front foot and moves with his back foot and makes his circling movements or lateral movement easier, or makes circling easier. Hagler uses half step and launches off back foot to turn his regular jab into gazelle jab. Outside slip and double jab to Minter's chest. Bob, slip, level change counter on Minter. Parry, slight pull, L step. Hagler mirrors overhand left with Minter. Hagler parries, weaves, then frames Minter. Hagler would let his opponent figure out the pre-slips. Once that would happen, he would start to load up the back leg for backhand counters and gazelle punches, something I'll get into later. Weight shifted to the lead leg for the twisting gazelle hook and a short stance switch. That's another thing about Hagler, and something I'm going to be talking about in the video. He was probably one of the original and probably the best stance switcher. He's a natural southpaw, but could switch to orthodox as well. He could do it pretty much at will. Hagler holds the phone well. Hagler weaves twice to B slot. Hagler uses head to create space for overhand left. Hagler can load up his back leg for counters off lead hand for lead hand strike and movement. Slips to outside, then quarter pivot. Hagler won battles on the inside, getting his hands to the inside position to frame and get off body shots. Hagler conceals gazelle jab with an inside pre-slips and turns into a gazelle hook. Inside positioning avoids the clinch. Hagler gazelle jabs and pendulum bounces out. Constant B slot slip. Circles right away from jab. C slot slip, duck and roll. Pre-slip to gauge reaction. No reaction, attack. Reaction slip is normal. Step feint 1-2, slight level change, good inside game, punches with free arm. Steps out from ropes and pivots out. Breaks his base trying to get orthodox angle, but immediately corrects. So that's another thing about Hagler, is he had very good footwork. In addition to the stance switching, he kept his base more often than not. Hagler good at pulling, good but inactive high guard. Good inside slip from Hagler. Good smother from Hagler. Double step feint. Cross parry. Leans over front foot to bait reaction. C step from Hagler. Nice gazelle hook from Hagler. D slot slip from Hagler. Hagler leans over front foot to evade jab. Right hand feint from Hagler. Put guard up to entice punches. Right cross feint and slip to the inside. Hagler uses head feint to gauge reaction of Mugabi. Hagler doing a good job circling his left away from Mugabi's left hook. Breaks base, immediately corrects by stepping wide around. Steps wide out of range, breaks stance, but immediately switches back to orthodox. Another example of him being able to immediately correct his base as well as the stance switching. Being comfortable in any stance, whether that be orthodox or southpaw. Left side forward versus right side forward. Overextends with overhand right and pays for it. Hagler double jabs away from Mugabi's right hand. He recognizes it as a threat. Hagler gets outside foot position and lands left hook. Level change and jab from Hagler. Level change and left cross to the body from Hagler. Now he's moving right as southpaw away from power hand of Mugabi, but can also be used as an orthodox fighter. Hagler backs up, then steps off to the side as to not back straight onto the ropes. Hagler again backs up and steps off to the side just in a different direction. Gets outside foot positioning to land left uppercut. Widens stance to make landing power punches easier. Jab, inside slips, left cross. Crosses are good for inside slips in terms of covering your chin and distance. Just kind of FYI. Cross parry and catch from Hagler. Double jab, step around from Hagler. Jab feint from Hagler. Double jab and step in from Hagler. Hagler sets feet in a proper position, steps back and circles around all in one sequence. Moves back foot into better position to move laterally. Hagler throws kidney shot, disguises it as a regular body shot. Old timers are real good at those kind of dirty tricks. Move back foot for better punching position. Overextends with left hook and breaks stance and immediately corrects. Swivel jab, disengage off the line, a step off the line. Left cross feint from Hagler. Mugabi feints, left hook, doesn't fall for it. Hagler's chin was in a perfect position for Mugabi's right uppercut. Gazelle jab, disengage, good weight transfer. Good lateral movement by Hagler to regain center ring. Double shield to block uppercut. Good body assault from Hagler. Right hook, double left hook to the body. Double outside pre-slip. Double jab and overhand left into forward stance shift and moves back southpaw. Hagler uses frames to give himself space and thwart Mugabi's right hand as well as land offense of his own to body and head. Gazelle jab finally from Hagler. 6 forearm in face of Mugabi to stop him from clinching again. Jab, right cross, right hook and step to the side, similar to sequence to something my coach taught me, except different angle and punch selection. Hagler uses shield block and crosses parry sequence to evade Mugabi's punches. Marvin is good at uses frame to lock up arms of Mugabi and protect himself. Hagler switch stance to get better angle. Front foot pivot around to get better angle on Mugabi. Hagler does a forward shuffle to get outside foot positioning to a double left hook. Hagler does a level change feint, shoots a double jab and a left cross. Double up jab and a left cross from Hagler. Hagler feints the left uppercut and then lands a clean left uppercut to the body. Hagler triple jabs to regain center ring. Hagler does a good right hook feint. Mugabi does a direction feint. Hagler clips him with a jab. Hagler blocks body shot with elbow. Mugabi doesn't have a real jab, so Hagler doesn't have to deal with jab joust. And Hagler can land the jab or up jab at will. Breaks space and is off balance. Soft frame from Hagler to create space. Mugabi not engaging in jab joust anymore. Hagler has found his rhythm. Hagler finally lands Gazelle jab. Hagler uses frame to push Mugabi's head up. Gazelle cross out of orthodox ends fight. Final thoughts. Marvin Hagler was one of the best boxers of the 1980s and is, in my opinion, one of the best boxers ever and is certainly the best middleweight ever, in my opinion. His name will certainly go down in the history books as one of the all-time greats. Fightsci signing out.